Once again, welcome back to Crypto Tutorial. On today's video, I would like to discuss XRP and how it's currently performing and what we can expect during the upcoming hours and days. Before doing so, I would like to thank all of you watching yesterday's live stream together with Crypto Rover. And if you haven't seen the live stream, do not forget to go to my YouTube channel and watch it right now. And if you like the content right now and as well yesterday during the live stream, do not forget to give me a thumbs up down below. That would be highly appreciated. So let's get started right away and let's take a look at the XRP chart. So what I would like to start is to take a look at the RSI. For the people who watch the videos more regularly, you can see that I changed the RSI's colors to green, and the Monoflow is a tool that I will right now use more during my videos. So what I think is of utmost importance is actually that we are seeing right now this current downtrend on the XRP's price action. We are clearly seeing these lower highs getting created, and as well we are seeing lower lows getting created. Of course, this is of utmost importance, so we are currently going towards the downside on the chart. What I think is of utmost importance as well is if we take a look at the RSI, we can clearly see that we are seeing something different. We are clearly seeing both on the Monoflow and on the RSI this higher high getting created. So what I think is of utmost importance over here is that we have to take into consideration that we are spotting a clear bearish divergence on XRP's price action. For sure, this might have influence during the upcoming days. Of course, this being said, what I would like to discuss is as well the RSI a little bit more closely, and therefore I would like to make it a little bit bigger. So if we take a look at the RSI, you can clearly see that we are creating still a higher lows structure. Over here, the latest low has clearly been right a little bit higher than the previous one, so the higher low structure is still there. But what I think is important is that we are seeing this lower high structure on the chart. Therefore, I think this is a confirmed bearish divergence. This being said, I would like to take a look at the Monoflow Index as well. So what I think is of utmost importance over here is not just this, but if we take a look at the overall trend during the past weeks, you can clearly see something I think is very noticeable. And on the Monoflow Index, you can clearly see that we are spotting a bearish divergence due to the fact that you can see this very clearly at this point in time. You can clearly see that this high previously was way higher than where we are currently at, and on the Monoflow chart we are clearly seeing completely the opposite occur. Therefore, you can see a clear bearish divergence confirmation. So I think this is very important right now for the overall price action of XRP. And what I would like to discuss as well is actually just a couple of things more. By placing a Fibonacci retracement, I would like to see where the levels of support and resistance are going to be on the 4-hourly time frame for sure, and where we are currently trading at. You can clearly see that we are trading right now underneath the 0.382 Fibonacci level. But what I think is very important are these two trend lines. Why I think they are very important is due to the fact that we might create a falling wedge, but unfortunately we do not have enough touch points to actually confirm these trend lines. Therefore, I would like to show you which trend lines we are talking about. This descending resistance, you can clearly see we have only seen 2 touch points at this upper part, but on this descending support line you can clearly see that we have seen 3 touch points already. Therefore, this descending support is confirmed. But what I think is actually good to know is that if we are going to head towards the upside, have a retest of this descending resistance and do not break out above it, we might be seeing a rejection from this point on and head once again towards a retest of this confirmed support line underneath us. So therefore, I think this trend line is very important. But what I would like to talk about is something actually very important to me right now, and that is not just that we are seeing that bearish divergence I just discussed, but as well on the MACD we are seeing something not similar, but we saw this crossover of momentum in the past. What I think is important about it is that we could perhaps see in the near future a crossover occur once again, and that we might start experiencing some momentum towards the upside. Of course, this is just a matter of time to see what actually is going to occur, But if we take a look at the daily time frame, you can clearly see that the momentum towards the downside has been losing strength, and therefore it could perhaps mean that we're going to see a crossover occur and that we will experience some major momentum towards the upside. Of course, it has a lot to do as well with Bitcoin's performance. If Bitcoin is going right now to break out towards the upside, I think personally that we are going to experience a crossover on the daily time frame that will have major influence on the price action in general. But of course, we have to be patient. Right now, it's looking rather bearish to me due to the fact that we spotted those bearish divergences on the RSI and Monoflow Index. And of course, right now on the MACD, you can clearly see that we are experiencing some downward momentum, but perhaps we are going to see this actually change during the upcoming hours due to the fact that we are losing strength on the daily time frame and that this has not been major momentum towards the downside. Therefore, it could perhaps mean that we are going to see once again momentum towards the upside getting created after a crossover occurs, of course. This being said, I would like to discuss as well the moving average and the EMA ribbon. You can clearly see that the EMA ribbon has been serving as a major of resistance before. We are not able to break out above it. We have seen multiple tries on the chart. We saw this major wick towards the upside, wasn't able to close the body inside or even above the EMA ribbon. You could clearly see that the candle closed underneath, and as well right now we experienced a momentum towards the upside. We did not break through the EMA ribbon and we have been rejected since that point in time. Of course, of utmost importance is also the moving averages. Therefore, I would like to enable the 20-day moving average, and what you can clearly see on the 20-day moving average is that right now the moving average is as well above us and is serving as major levels of resistance. You could clearly see that in the past, once we tried to break out of the 20-day moving average, we had some trouble. We saw multiple candles close underneath it before being able to spike above it and find support on top of it. So this is something I think is very important for the immediate short term, to be able to break out above the 20-day moving average and as well retest the EMA ribbon for a fourth time. Talking about the pattern that we're clearly seeing right now, what I think is of utmost importance is that we haven't seen the descending resistance being confirmed yet. Therefore, I think it is possible that we are going to experience some different type of patterns. And what I would like to discuss as well is that you could actually take a look at this pattern rather differently by actually placing this trend line at this point in time in the past and just taking it all the way towards here. Clearly, if you do it this way, you can see that we are experiencing a retest of this ascending support, but we have only seen 2 touch points during the past couple of days. Therefore, it is still not a confirmed trend line. But if we take a look at the past and just zoom a little bit closer, you can clearly see that at this point in time, we saw a touch point on the exact same trend line. I'm not saying that therefore this trend line is confirmed, due to the fact that I would like to see the confirmation occur right now during this couple of days by trading in between this pattern to see eventually a breakout occur either towards the up or towards the downside. But of course, this is just a matter of time. What I think is important about the video right now is that you have to take these levels into consideration. And if we take a look at the daily time frame, I would like to end this video by actually showing you that we are clearly getting supported majorly by the EMA ribbon on the daily time frame. I think this is of utmost importance due to the fact that this is the very first time that we are getting supported by the EMA ribbon, and I think it is very likely that eventually we are going to see a breakout above this descending resistance and being able to find support on top of it and see a major spike in XRP's price action. But of course, it will take a couple of days before we will see an eventual breakthrough towards the upside. This being said, I would like to end the video, but for the people who are not following me on Twitter yet, please don't forget to follow @ToroCrypto. That will be highly appreciated, and you will be as well helping the channel by doing so. So thank you very much already. As well, lastly, before ending this video, I would like to discuss what the possible scenarios are going to be where I will be entering a trade and how that trade is actually going to look like. Therefore, I would like to enable this trend line and select the upper part or the beginning of this descending resistance all the way towards the touch point with my ascending support, and this is my measurement tool for the upcoming breakdown or breakout. If you can clearly see, if we see a breakout occur, we will be heading towards the 0.236 Fibonacci level at $1.20. This will be for sure a major movement towards the upside of approximately 10%. I think this is a very probable scenario if we eventually see after a couple of days we are able to retest this descending resistance, perhaps not breaking through it immediately, but eventually seeing a breakout above it, finding support on top of it, and seeing a major spike in its price action. Unfortunately, if we see a breakdown occur, we could perhaps head even further towards the downside and heading towards that level at this point in time at the 0.5 Fibonacci at approximately 96 cents. Of course, this is also going to be a 10% move towards the downside, and I think this is a possible scenario as well. But right now, how Bitcoin is looking, I think we are looking very bullish for the moment, and therefore I think it is very likely that we are going to see a confirmation of this pattern during the upcoming days, and perhaps even a breakout towards the upside. So I would like to keep you up to date during the following hours. So I will keep you up to date during the upcoming days, but for sure I think this is very important to know right now. Thank you very much for watching the video and have a nice day. So bye bye.
Yeah, I've been on Uniswap, now I'm out on one itch. Used to trade centralized, now we on the fun shit. I'm the new